Welcome to part 3 of the Age of Dawn event, the Zhaohui event. Monsoon squad is fully assembled, and with their commander by its side, the troopers have no need to fear their warriors nearby. We found out what happened to Ferris, the good friend of Aida, and the misunderstanding with her parents, with Ferris' parents. Will we manage to solve those misunderstandings in Aida's life? And also about the Monsoon squad members too? Released from the shackles, the wind is inclined to stay at your side. Several days later, inside their troop campsite, Monsoon squad and Groza intensifies patrols outside the campsite of the following days. Despite the little unsaid during the test show, the attacks we feared never came again, and the trooper enjoyed a rare few days of peace. It is a relief that the troop has been otherwise unmolested, but I'm hard-pressed to find a rationale for the Warriors' actions. Could it be that the link between the Warriors and their attackers from that night was purely a coincidence? Was it truly just two liar-bounds with nothing better to do, accepting a job from the underground? No. Perhaps I need to investigate further. There must have been something behind the scenes that I have missed. Once afternoon rehearsal for the troops are over, I seek out Zhaohui. As she listens to my intentions for coming here, she puts down the props she's checking and looks at me in puzzlement. So you intend to investigate the Warriors outside the camp right now? Yes, right now. You can tell something is wrong too, right? I turn to look outside the campsite. While things seem peaceful enough in the campsite, the settlement outside is nowhere as warm and welcoming as it was when we first came. In fact, it feels somewhat deserted. Our audience is gone. That's right. The troupe advertises this show heavily, so there ought to be more people here. However, it seems the Warriors' activity nearby has forced people who were planning to watch the play to abandon their plans. Commander, do you think the change in the Warriors' action is linked to how we stopped the attacks on the campsite that day? I cannot be sure, but we both know the Warriors are mixed up in this. And besides, the Warriors have been a scourge of the surrounding region. Yet the settlements and the troop have been completely untouched. Doesn't make sense. I don't think it's because we revealed ourselves. And I don't think anyone would actually pay to invite those starving wolves here. Therefore, I need to head out there on foot to figure out what's going on. Since it's very likely that Aida is involved, I will need the help of my Monsoon squad too. Understood. I can accompany you, Commander. Oh, me too, me too. I have not got investigating with you in a long time, Commander. Jiang Yu has appeared from seemingly nowhere and inserted herself between Zhaohui and me, followed closely by Daiyan and Fei, who turned up in front of me. Why didn't you just tell us you need help, Commander? Yeah, Zhaohui would have monopolized the scouting mission with the Commander if I had not secretly followed you. As I see the looks of anticipation in their eyes, I cannot help but chuckle. But eventually, I harden my heart and shake my head. The Vaegas are still roaming around out there, so we need to leave someone behind to protect the campsite. Where's Groza, by the way? Zhaohui and Jingyu will follow me. Daiyan and Fei will stay behind and protect the campsite. Woohoo! Where's Groza? Understood. Fei and I will mind the campsite. But please be careful, Commander. As our jeep drives deeper into the wilderness, there's still no trace of the Vaegas. Jiang Yu stares out of the back seat window for a long time, but she cannot find anything before she begins stepping out a rhythm on the vehicle's frame. Jiang Yu, mind your volume. Okay, fine, I will stop now. Interesting music in the background. After being reminded by Zhaohui, Jiang Yu sticks her tongue out and grumbles under her breath. Ah, those Vaegas are such a pain. There's no sign of them anywhere. It is just a waste of your time, Commander. I cannot believe we are spending our precious time of those Vaegas. Ah, I'm so mad. After complaining, Jiang Yu wraps herself over the back of my seat. Still, I'm glad I got out with you again on the mission, Commander. It feels just like the old days. I remember your character in Neurocloud is a little bit different, by the way. That's the only way I know you, but yeah. In fact, I cannot help but wonder how nice it would have been if their troupe would just keep performing. Then Big Sis, Fane and I could just ignore that creepy agreement and stay with you forever, right, Commander? The agreement? Actually, Cullen sent me a secret transmission about a month ago, when I was assisting 404 regarding new changes in the agreement. While quite a few dolls have already returned to the Elmo through chance encounters, I was planning to maintain the status quo for a while longer to avoid the Elmos becoming a target once again. But after seeing the gloominess and delight on Jiang Yu's face, things about the pendant that Daiyan cherished so dearly, I find it hard to keep quiet. Perhaps I cannot answer for the world, but at the very least, I can give them an answer. Commander? Actually, you can do that right now. You don't have to worry about that agreement anymore. Huh? Jiang Yu drops, and her eyes go wide. I sighed and then smile as gentle as I can. What? What? Just last month, the Non-Military Force Administration secretly lifted part of the agreement's restrictions for various reasons. Ah, so the agreement is actually lifted by the Non-Military Force Administration, which is Kalina. Wait, isn't Kalina one of the managers there? Or like one of the big guys there? That said, it was done in secret. So I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to alarm certain people. Also, I'm just a penniless bounty hunter right now. So all I can do is wander the land doing jobs to make ends meet. It is a hard life. I don't care if you're wandering or not. I'm happy as long as I'm with you, Commander. It won't even be a hardship for me. I'm sure Big Sis and Faye feel the same way too. Oh yeah, we will go back and then tell them good news. I will make sure they will be really happy if they know they can follow you again. Yeah, you told this kind of secret to the most passionate girl. Like, the most that speaks a lot. Really now? I chuckled, then turned to look at Zhaohui. However, I realized that she is staring intensely through the windshield, her face grim. Commander, Wayiga sighted ahead. Probably not that happy. Oh, she's almost playable. Problems resolved. Zhaohui, catch up quick. We can wrap things up and share the good news with our sisters sooner. Don't rush. Take care of the enemies first. Thanks to Zhaohui and Jingyu combined attacks, the ambush Wayigas are soon driven off. We wiped out the remaining enemies along the way, but don't see anyone else around us. In order to verify the Wayigas' tracks, we even pursued them all the way to the Wayigas' camps we found earlier. However, the brightly lit campsite from that night is now completely deserted. It's as though those bandits were tipped off and vanished without a trace after shifting the area of activity. What's going on? Maybe they got scared by how we have been spanking them over the past few days and ran off? No, judging by the state of the camp, this was an organized withdrawal. So we have missed them again. Let's head over to the camps that Groza found. We soon arrived at the other camp. However, the situation there is the same as before. Hey, where did everyone go? When I came here with Groza and the commander just a few days ago, there were Wayigas patrolling around the area. Indeed. If they packed up and left just in a few days, then where did they go? I leaned against the window and rubbed my forehead as I feel a headache coming up. Is there really nothing wrong with those Wayigas? In the past, exterminating Wayigas was not too difficult of a task. However, they seem to have become more cunning over the past 6 months. Their behavior we saw during this request reflects that. They have multiple temporary bases. They actively send out people to take underground markets requests. And they can even conduct organized groups withdrawals. So, I have a feeling, like, the first thing that I will always say is Paradeus. But maybe, to make things more a little bit exciting, we have something with a Wayiga's boss. We really don't met a lot of Wayiga's bosses, right? So we met in the chapter 1, right? But that's it. So I'm kind of asking if there is a Wayiga boss that is like big boss that is planning things. I also in my head combined the Wayigas with orcs from Warhammer 40k. I don't know why, but like they look to me like orcs. A vague feeling that there is something wrong about all of these charms in my mind. It is almost as though someone is directing those crude bandits from the shadows. Unfortunately, I have no clues or proof regarding them at the moment. Don't be so down, Commander. Since they are gone, the troop and the settlement will be safe. You should be happy, Commander. It's good for Aida, yes. But it seems the bounty that the Commander will receive for investigating the Wayigas is going to be much smaller than expected. You don't hold back at all, do you? You're right. I'm sorry, Commander. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that too. Still, there's no need to worry. Now that the agreement have been loosened, Monsoon will help you out with the mission as long as we get to stay on the Elmo. In short, you won't have to worry about starving with us around. Yeah, I hope your team leader is also the same opinion. Is it so? I'm looking forward to that. Me too. There's all sorts of fun stuff on the Elmo, and a lot of old friends. Yeah, we are building an army. With this losing agreement, there's nothing stopping us. It's literally at the end of this main story, I already see ourselves having an army of dolls versus army of something big evil guy. Well, not just the guys from Griffin, but lots of new friends too. We will be able to make new friends too, right? Jiang Yu tightens her grip on the steering wheel, and her eyes sparkle as she fantasizes about what the future holds. Zhaohui says nothing, only listening quietly. Man, I want to head back to the campsite right now and see the look on Big C's and Faye's face when I tell them the agreement has been loosened up. Hold on tight, Commander. I will be putting the pedals on the metal. Jiang Yu mutters about the agreement to herself as she speeds all the way back. Soon, the jeep lashes to a halt. We are at the campsite. Commander, you have arrived. Jiang Yu eagerly dismounts and turns up to their nearby Daiyan and Faye. Their flurry of wild gesticulations that follows tells me, even without hearing her words, that she is informing them about the agreement. True enough, Daiyan and Faye runs to me a moment later. Commander, is what Jiang Yu said really true? Is the agreement annulled? I nod. Strictly speaking, it was because the terms have been loosened that, after the previous assistance to 404 concluded, you were allowed to stay on the Elmo. So, if you don't mind following me on my wanderings, you can come back to the Elmo and stay with me permanently after this contract is finished. Oh, that's wonderful. I have been looking forward to the day when I could officially join the Elmo, to the day when I could return to your side for good, Commander. Daiyan strokes her pendant on her breast. Me too. I will follow you anywhere, Commander. Doesn't matter where you go. Monsoon Squad has always traveling about. After all. Alright, since you're willing, I have no reason to refuse you. Oh, we are really losing the battle here, like Zhaohui lost the battle here. However, it seems your leader still has not chimed in yet. I look towards Zhaohui. She's been keeping her distance ever since we got down from the vehicle. Jiang Yu and the others look all expectantly towards her, expecting Zhaohui to respond with a smile. Their expression is colored further with mild concern and worry. As expected, Zhaohui simply toys with the knife she's holding. Her expression is cold as ever. We haven't reached the deadline for the suggestion yet, so my answer is still the same as before. Do you want me to join the Elmo? I will need to consider it, but I will not stop you. Huh? What is there to consider? The commander is super reliable, you know? You don't need to overthink this, Zhaohui. You know, I have always been waiting for this to happen. Oh, this is such a icky situation, really. The air turns chilly. Daiyan steps forward and carefully ventures a question. I never asked before, but is there some reason that you are reluctant to join us, Zhaohui? Zhaohui doesn't answer. She simply continues rubbing her handle of her knife. Upon seeing Zhaohui's reaction, I sighed inside. I probably won't be able to get the answer out of her today. After patting the others on the shoulder, I chuckled quietly. Well, if she needs to think about it, then we don't have to press her for an answer today. The troupe will be performing for a while. You can always decide once the contract is done. The curtain rises. The show begins after a grand opening. The week-long schedule of shows is slowly winding down. During this time, the Vaegas are still active in the wilderness, but they don't harass the troupe again. The attack Aida feared does not take place, and the troupe's performance receives growing reviews. On the night before the final performance, the troupe's campsite is brightly lit, and the members of the troupe are gathered in the heart of the campsite, nervously preparing for their last show. When daybreak comes, I shall go with... Aida, mind your blocking. Sorry about that. Let's do it over. When daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind, onward to a kingdom of a faraway clouds. Aida, your delivery just now was too stiff. I'm sorry, After the second reminder, Aida stumbles a little as she gets to her feet. Even the most clueless actor would be able to tell that's right now. She is not in the right state of mind for a rehearsal. The director sighed and pats Aida on her shoulder. Relax. If you are not feeling well, then go rest up a little. We'll go over the other portions first. Thank you. Aida nods to the director in gratitude and slinks away from the stage. Zhaohui rises from her seat in the audience and silently follows her. Miss Aida? When humans are bothered by something, do they feel better when they talk through holes in trees? So if there's something bothering you, why don't you try to tell me about it? If nothing else, my color scheme is about 70% similar to a tree hole. I figured out to be able to provide 70% of the functionality of one. Yeah. I did not expect from her to say this, and I don't know if she's joking or being serious. Really cannot tell it apart. Aida freezes up, then carefully looks Zhaohui's up and down before bursting into laughter. Miss Zhaohui, is this how you always confirmed your friends? Not always, but right now it seems to be working. Thank you. I do feel a little better now. Still, why is she like the Zhaohui have the scars on her arms? Her facial expressions are limited. Why is she keeping this? Why is she not upgrading herself? We did not figure that out. Upon seeing that the sadness in Aida's eyes has abated a little, Zhaohui walks over to Aida's side. Are you feeling anxious about tomorrow's show? Yes, I believe Ferris' parents won't give up that easily. Miss Aida, I don't know what happened tomorrow, but as an actor, your sole duty is to deliver your performance. Ensuring that the show is safe is Monsoon Squad's duty. Got it. Thank you, Miss Zhaohui. I'm sorry for subjecting you to that terrible performance just now. No matter what happened tomorrow, I will pick myself up and properly prepare for it. Aida smiles and nods to Zhaohui, then turns her head back to the stage. Zhaohui watches Aida leave, noting the extra spring in her steps, and then she returns to their audience seats. After the rehearsal, in a corner of the camp, having confirmed that her various tasks and preparations are complete, Zhaohui is about to head back to the rest when she suddenly feels a weight on her shoulder. Ambush successful! Pixies, Faye, come quick! Having managed to grab Zhaohui's shoulder, Jingyu excitedly waves to other over. Soon, Daiyan and Faye have arrived, flanking Zhaohui. It is an ambush. Faced with their ambush, Zhaohui raises her hands in resignation. I don't recall a pre-show celebration on the cards. No, it's not really a celebration. We just have a few questions for you. Faye rubs her head, and her expression turns serious. That is to say, what do you think of the commander? Yeah. We are all in a rush when we came here to help the commander out, so you probably didn't have much of a chance to talk to him. But now it is just us, Monsoon Squad, and the commander. Plus, you have been with him for so long already. Surely you must have made up your mind about him right now, right? The last show is tomorrow. Zhaohui, no matter what you're planning to do, won't you sit down and talk things about this with us before making your final decision? Yeah, I hate how you just up and left the Elmo without saying anything. I'm sorry, I was planning to make my decisions after the commission was completed, and I could discuss things with the commander. I didn't think that I would cause so much trouble for everyone. Ah, who says you are troubling us? Zhaohui, you are always so decisive and whatever of the most of the time. Why are you all hesitant now? We have known each other for so long, so you can just tell us if you have got anything on your mind. Zhaohui, you can tell us directly if you have any doubts or questions about the Elmo. After all, Monsoon has been through a lot of the over past few years, and we have faced it all together, haven't we? Yeah, in the past you were always the one to come up with a plan when we ran into trouble. Now you have got trouble, so you should tell us about it. We are a team after all. Thank you. I will be frank then. It is true, I have some reservations about joining the Elmo. However, they are not related to the Elmo or Monsoon, but rather my past. Zhaohui looks down at the scar on her hand. A moment later, she looks up at Daiyan. I want my choice to be meaningful. So, I'm sorry, but I cannot give an answer right now. Daiyan steps forward and gently grabs Zhaohui's hand. It's alright, Zhaohui. We didn't approach you tonight to ask you to do anything. We just want to tell you that you have always been a great leader for all these years. Yeah, you might have it out for me, but you are actually pretty trustworthy as a squad leader. Monsoons might not even be here if it wasn't for your ideas. Yes, I agree. I would not follow orders from just anyone. So, we truly hope that we can continue traveling with you. I hope so too. And I will also seriously consider the matter of our future. After noting that Monsoon Squad is almost done talking, I head over and nod lightly on a nearby tent pole. I think we are in Commander's POV? Sorry to interrupt. I would like to talk about the campsite defensive posture for tomorrow. What do you have in mind, Commander? I believe the Warriors have not given up on the big fish that this troop represents. Those two attacks on Aida were not coincidence, merely props. Zhaohui nods in agreement. Yes, they're using them to determine how well the troop was protected. Indeed. While the mental image of disciplined warriors might sound strange, if they were really planning on making a big haul, they would probably hold back until the tour was over and the troops' temporary guard was gone. I don't want anything to happen to the troops after we leave. Rather than leave those warriors free to threaten others, I would rather look for a chance to put an end to this matter once and for all. Was this why you keep sending Miss Grosser out after the warriors over the few past days? And here I thought you were just going to mind your own business. She took the mind or your own business a little bit way too literal. Come on, it is not like bounty hunters only have collapsed pieces on mind. And besides, I want also... Shots in the background. A series of gunshots and explosions outside the campsite interrupts my words and shatters the silence of the night. Run! It's warriors! The warriors are here! So they come after all. Ladies, prepare for a fight. Bay was assigned to clear their audience out. Let's eliminate the remaining enemies. The warriors who attack the settlements are swiftly beaten back by the Monsoon Squad and Grosser combined efforts. However, the campsite was caught in the crossfire, and much of the intricate back doors and stage is destroyed. Anything even remotely valuable in the backstage area has vanished. The campsite is in uproar. The troop manager is frantically shuttling between the stage, the admin tent, and the costume tracks, totaling up the losses while Monsoon Squad and I help out. Just then, an actor runs over. Aida got kidnapped, let me guess. Manager! Manager! It is bad! Aida is gone! Huh? Tell me. Be clear about it. What happened? The cast was going a head count just now and we couldn't find Aida. After that, someone mentioned that they think they saw several warriors going after Aida when the campsite was being attacked. Come on, you should have known this. You should have known this, that they are planning to do this. Come on, this is making me mad. But I guess the story wouldn't happen. And also, someone was guiding the Warriors. I think it was the people who came to cause troubles for us earlier. Wait a minute. Are you saying the troublemakers from earlier were inside men of the Warriors, and that Ferris' parents hired the Warriors to attack the troop? No, I don't think so. When you consider how Ferris died, there's no way her family would hire the Warriors. The underground market are chaotic and hard to manage. It is more likely that the commission to cause trouble here was coincidentally taken by the Warriors. The Warriors needed an inside man. That's right. The tour was heavily publicized, so the Warriors have probably had their eyes on the troop for some time now. The commission put out by the Ferris family gave them to the perfect excuse to sneak around the campsite without arousing our suspicion. Would the Warriors actually do that? Don't they only know how to wave their guns around? That would normally be the case, but it seems like the Warriors have grown a brain over the past few months. Commissions involving them have gotten harder and harder to complete as a result. I really picture with the Warriors just and like mindless orcs, and then there's some big Warrior boss who bring those orcs under control, something like this. Where they're still fairly amateuristish in actual combat, their ability to strategize seems to have evolved a little. Damn it. Then what should we do now? A sudden ringtone from a comms terminal interrupts the manager's voice. The manager froze and picks up. We instantly hear a girl screams from the other side of the connection. It lasts only a second, and then the girl's voice cuts off, replaced by a short-tempered voice. Hear that? Your lead actress is in my hands. Bring her ransom by tomorrow. I'm waiting for you. Don't try any fancy shit with me, or the chick dies. The call cuts off, and the campsite instantly goes silent. But soon, a cacophony of voices erupts from all around, and panic swallows the entire troop. That was Aida's voice! The Warriors kidnapped Aida! Director, manager, what should we do? Can we really trust the Warriors? What if... Amid the clamor, the theater manager walks over to me, a look of utter helplessness in her eyes, and tightly squeezes my hand. Please save Aida. We will try to get the ransom together, but we cannot let anything happen to Aida again. Alright, calm down, no matter what. Before I can finish, Zhaohui has already walked up to us. Commander, allow me to handle the rescue. I have seen enough kidnapping to last me a lifetime. Those scums only know how to bully the weak and torment others. I don't know how people live in the contamination zones, but stepping in while I see injustice being done is how I live. And now that I have seen it happen, there's no way I can turn a blind eye to it. You actually make a good pair with the commander, so yeah. I know that, but please wait for a moment. Zhaohui's eyes narrow as I stop her. Don't lose another heart, Commander. Don't get me wrong, Zhaohui. Come down and listen to me. I measure the space between my eyes as I take in her guarded attitude and suspicions. Looks like she's really misunderstood me. Then I shake my head and look in her eyes. Zhaohui, I feel the same as you. There's no way I would simply stand aside after seeing something like this. That has nothing to do with being a bounty hunter. That said, stopping you comes from my experience as a bounty hunter. I believe there's a better solution to this matter. The spark of revenge, but it cannot bring her back. Inside the darkened corner of the Vaiga's warehouse, I secretly slip a thin razor blade out from between my layers of clothing. I remember the calm look on Zhaohui's face as she slipped into my sleeves. I have carried this blade with me all this time, just for the situations like this, when I'm trapped among the enemy. Since you're willing to take the risk, Commander, I will give you this blade. The blade is sharp. Be careful not to cut your fingers when you retrieve it. Am I getting some called back memories from the Centauris event from NeuroCloud? Feel for the blade and take advantage of the fact that there's nobody there to cut the ropes binding me. Soon, the ropes fall apart behind me, and I work my shoulders to free myself. As I tuck the little razor blade back into my thick sleeve, it nicks my fingertips and coolness oozes from the point of contact. It's really sharp. I ignore the pain in my finger and fish out the micro communicator in my collar before calling Zhaohui. There's hardly any delay before the call goes through. The plan was successful. I'm inside the Vaiga's warehouse. The definition of success is pretending to be defeated and captured so they can throw you into the warehouse while thrust up like a turkey? Hey, it beats mindlessly charging in. This place seems slightly guarded, and their rope work is sloppy. Looks like the Vaigas are not very experienced. Oh yeah, your knife was very useful too. As long as you are safe. Have you found Aida yet? Yep, Aida is in another corner. I think she's fainted. I will go wake her up now. Wait for my signal. How are you and Jiang Yu? Ready to move in your signal, Commander? Alright. I hang up and quietly approach the corner where Aida is lying. Aida's face is pale as she lies on the ground. Her hands are tied behind her, and her tight body is curled up into a ball. I bend down and start cutting her bones, when I pat her shoulders before calling her name. Aida. Aida, wake up. After a while of this, Aida weakly opens her eyes. Upon seeing me, she grabs hold of my sleeves. Her eyes go wild and fill with tears. Please help me. It's them. Zhaohui, Daiyan, and Jiang Yu hide behind the pile of rocks, keeping a watchful eye on a nearby Vaiga's encampment. Sound of merriment and occasional laughs come from within. It seems they are celebrating their victory. Jiang Yu pounds in annoyance as she crouches by the rock pile, bored out of her mind. I'm so bored. I do hear this very often from you. Why hasn't the commander given the signal yet? Be patient. Weren't you about to butt heads with the commanders yesterday? Why are you willing to listen to him after all of a sudden? That was then. Now is now. Zhaohui's eyes do not leave the Wehr's campsite, even if she delivers her flat reply. Oh, I get it. You have realized how trustworthy the commander is, haven't you? Zhaohui remains silent, but then a command suddenly comes over the communication channel. Zhaohui, go. Acknowledged. What's the situation over there with the boss? Everything is currently going smoothly. Let's begin as planned. Understood. Zhang Yu, Daiyan, initiate the attack. Is she playable? After sending their transmission to Zhaohui, I instruct Aida to hide in a corner. I ensure Aida is well hidden and take cover behind a nearby heap of junk, my gun ready in case we are attacked from the outside. Soon, gunshots fill the air outside the warehouse. The gunfire draws closer. Someone kicks the main door and a familiar form rushes in. Commander, Aida! We're here! Zhaohui swiftly rushes over to our side, then nods to us. Zhang Yu and Daiyan are covering us outside. Come with me. There's a side path that we can use to leave the encampment. No, we cannot leave now. At least not like this. And what is the reason for that? I took a commission from Aida. Zhaohui raises an eyebrow. Time is tight. I will cut to the chase. Just know, Aida told me that she recognized those Wehrers. No way. Oh, there will be split some blood. Yes, I did. Miss Zhaohui. I have seen them before. Aida's eyes suddenly fill with anger as she tightens her grip on Zhaohui's arm. Her voice is trembling. Last night, when I was brought here, I saw their leader, the Wehr's leader. Here, their leader's head. He was wearing a necklace. I remember. That necklace was a birthday gift from her family. Paris cherished it dearly, and she would wear it everywhere. That's why I'm certain of it. He was the one who led the Wehrers that attacked me and Ferris. Oh boy. Oh, there will be... Oh my god, this is... There will be some revenge, I guess. Correct. And so, Aida made a request of me. She wants me to wipe out those Wehrers and avenge Ferris. I don't know, it's... Oof. I accept it. We are for blood here. And not on... How convenient for the commander that you have like the brief commission and no Aida's commission, and you basically have just to do the same job. And now, Zhaohui, you have a choice. Are you willing to join me in clearing this nest of Wehrers? Of course, it's going to be more dangerous than just escorting Aida out of here. For the first time, there's an almost imperceptible smile on Zhaohui's face. Oh, she's actually smiling. It will be my pleasure. All at dawn. The storm has ended. The awaited future lies ahead. We get here the portrait where the wind lies. The wandering wind finally comes to rest here. So probably we will be staying on the Elmo. I cannot imagine anything else. Ah, So it is your old scrap metal causing havoc in my camp. Go! Everyone get in there! Everyone get in there. They literally speak like orcs. Come on. Knock this guy's head off for me. So what is our boss? Yeah, I usually keep the boss stage, quote unquote, there. Zhaohui, keep a tight watch on them and don't let them even once of those scrubs escape. Understood. Zhaohui and I coordinate with each other and corner the Vaegas leader. What should we do now? There are no police stations in the contamination zones. We do it in the bounty hunter way. Either you hold your peace forever, or you leave no regrets behind. Though, when it comes to scums like that, I would not be able to live with myself if I spare him. Yep, yeah, very radical. A single gunshots fill the air, and the bulky man wearing a necklace slumps against the wall. Contract closes. I recover the necklace from the man and indicate to Zhaohui that we should leave. Zhaohui seems a little pleased with herself right now. Let's go. I turn and head over to the encampment. It is time we return this to Aida. 2 days after the Vaegas were eliminated. The Talia Troupe's campsite is abuzz with activity. Tonight, Daybreaks Oath will be performed at the settlement for the last time. Night has just fallen, and the temporary sitting-in is packed with the audience members who have come here from nearby settlements. The show progresses. The sound of applause or sniffing comes from the seats. And when the final stage arrives, all eyes are on the girl in the center stage, who is illuminated by the spotlight. Dollar. I'm sorry, my very best friend. Please forgive me for bidding you farewell. For last night, I received word from the Goddess of Dawn. She told me that when daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind onwards to the kingdom of the faraway clouds. But my dear, beloved friend, do not be saddened by this parting. For you know that it has always been my wish to become that faint ray of light that illuminates the dark night. As she recites her lines, a twinkle of light blossoms in her hand. She holds up this radiant mote and descends from the stage into the audience seats, until finally she arrives before a man and a woman. God, don't make me burst into tears right now. And so, from now on, so long as you see the sky at dawn, remember that ray of daybreak, and know that I wish you well. Let this necklace be a proof of our pact. No matter where you may be, so long as you need it, it shall become as a daybreak and defend you. And with that, Aida gently lifts her hand and deposits Ferris' necklace into the couple's hand. Then, Aida bows deeply to the two of them. I'm so sorry. Zhaohui and I watched the end of the show from an unobtrusive corner of the audience. After seeing Aida finally embrace Ferris' parents, even Zhaohui's cool expression seems to have softened a little. A good ending, don't you think? It is good that misunderstandings could have been resolved. And it was good that you were willing to testify about the evil deeds of the Vaegas. Otherwise, Ferris' parents would have found the tale hard to believe. So, does that mean our misunderstandings has also been resolved? Can you tell me about your reluctance to join us? Zhaohui is silent for a while, and then she nods. Before joining with the Moon Squad, I was used to travel alone and dealing with any danger I encounter by myself. But after becoming a part of the Monsoon Squad, Daiyan, Jingyu, and Fei became my friends. We traveled together with the same wish in our hearts, just like Aida and Ferris. I once thought Monsoon would keep traveling like this forever, where everyone keeps talking about finding their commanders. They were still limited by that agreement, so I believe that the day when they would do so was still far off. Thus, I did not think much about what happened once the agreement ended, or what I would do. So when I realized that there really was a chance for them to go on the Elmo, I hesitated. If everyone else in the band chose to return to the Elmo, then what about me? Zhaohui pauses for a moment. She runs her fingers over her knife and then looks at me. The members of the Monsoon often told me about you and your shared path. So, before I make my decision, I would like to know that what made you walk this path of self-exile. To my knowledge, you were not compelled to be becoming a wandering bounty hunter. Oh, me? I look up in the sky. Too many scenes from the past flash before my eyes. What exactly was it that made me choose my present course? I think of the flames from that explosion, and that once-sided farewell. In order to give all of that sort of meaning, I finally choose to sign the agreement, much as I loathe its terms and the fact that I have done so. As my emotions fly into disarray, I shake my head, and my gaze settles on the nearby stage. Perhaps it was for those people, Ferris, Aida, and the audience members watching the play, just like you. Perhaps I could have chosen a better paying way for life, but if I had, I would always be taking and carrying out orders. By boarding the Elmo, perhaps I could follow my heart and help the people who need saving. But then again, maybe I just did it for myself. So I'm sorry. I cannot answer your question, because I still have not accomplished anything yet. Is that what you wanted to hear, Zhaohui? Zhaohui remains silent, and the night shrouds that poker face of hers. So she looked down at the scars on her hand. There is a vague sense of confusion in her eyes. Once I simply did as I was told, never questions the rightness of my actions, or the lack therefore. After that, I learned that I could choose for myself. And so, you chose Monsoon? Not just Monsoon. When I joined Monsoon, I also chose the future I wanted. So, what kind of future will you choose now? And we're coming to our illustration. Zhaohui looks up. She stares into my eyes, and the confusion from before is now gone. Commander, I'm not like Daiyan and the others. I have no experience of days of fighting by your side in Griffin. That is why I cannot immediately decide to board the Elmo and follow you. But of course, I would like all those who join the Elmo to do so of their own free will. However, this commission has allowed me to get the measure of your character, and since my friend in Monsoon Squad trusts you completely, I think he can try to trust you too, Commander. In the past, I chose to travel with Monsoon Squad. Now I think I can choose a future of traveling with the Elmo. Surely a journey with you should be a pretty good one. Am I wrong? And with that, Zhaohui watches me quietly. Well, in terms of doing good and stopping evil, it ought to be pretty good. We are building our army. Upon hearing my answer, Zhaohui smiles, that very visible again. Then from now on, the tactical doll, Zhaohui, shall join the Elmo. Here's to jolly cooperation, Commander. Oh, so it still goes on? It is late at night, and the bustling crowd have receded. The actors have cleared away their costumes and props and are now taking a break, leaving the campsite silent at last. Just as I am about to return to my tent, I hear a familiar and gentle voice behind me. Ah, Daiyan, they all have been listening. Commander, do you have a moment? Daiyan, what are you doing here? Is something the matter? I came to return you this. Daiyan smiles as she approaches me. Then she extends a hand to me, revealing the unspeakable pendant in her palm. The thunderbolt-shaped symbol on the pendant gleams in the night. Ah, that's... So, what is this pendant, by the way? Is it from yours Frontline 1, or did I miss something? My thoughts return to a time several years ago. It was before I was officially reunited with Daiyan. A certain request had led to the Elmo traveling near a green zone. There, I received Daiyan's signal, a blue ribbon brought back by Groza after she returned from a mission in a settled city. Okay, I guess we get the explanation now. Without news, without a message, we were separating by just a purification zone. Those were the illuminations imposed by the agreement, and also a sign of Daiyan's care and concern. At Groza's suggestion, I had her pass Daiyan the pendant. This was the keepsake that you had Miss Groza give me. I still remember the words she told me that day. Bathed in lightning and rain, waiting silently amidst a storm, and blue-white flesh shall one day be seen. That is the origin of the name Elmo, and also the promise you made with me. Isn't it not, Commander? I carried this pendant with me during our time apart. It got me through the countless lonely days when my thoughts were of you and gave me a strength to keep moving forward. Thanks to its existence, I always believed that one day I would be reunited with you, Commander. You're right. The rain and the storm has passed. Welcome back to the Elmo, Daiyan. I look towards Daiyan. But just as I'm about to retrieve the pendant, she suddenly pulls her hand back. She holds it in her palm, looking tenderly upon it, as though she were caressing it with her gaze. Commander, the truth is, I have a request to make to you of you. Though we are now reunited, I have always etched the meaning of this pendant onto my heart. If I might, could I continue to hold onto it? I will always cherish the spirit in which it was given. Still holding the pendant, Daiyan gazes into my eyes, her face flushing a faint pink. Of course. Oh, and this is Elmo drifting away. Shortly afterwards, in the Elmo, several those who have traveled from afar are now gathered at the foot of the massive vehicle. The twin-tailed girl tugs on her hand of the blue-clothed girl, hopping around excitedly in front of the Elmo. We now have two twin-tailed girls. I'm so happy, Big Sis. We are reunited on the Elmo again. Yes, I didn't expect we would be able to come back. And now, our dear leader, Zhaohui, has returned with us. Yep, Monsoon's back together again. Is this really alright? The agreement? Relax. The commander said that our friends in their non-military force administration, namely Miss Kalin, will help us take care of it. We won't have to worry about the paperwork. So, let's enjoy our reunion with the commander. Oh? Whoa, is that the commander coming back? I'm feeling so nervous all of a sudden. Well, that's unusual. To think the day would come when Monsoon's best drama is blushing. Zhaohui, you're still making fun of me like this? She is the drama, and I thought that Faye is the drama, with her temper. I was simply trying to add to the mood. An opportunity presents itself. But I guess it worked pretty well, no? With a whoa, Zhang Yu runs to the Elmo, and Daiyan follows its resignation. Faye strides into the Elmo too. How big is the Elmo, by the way? Like, I see it's massive, but how many dolls can we get there? Zhaohui walks on the back of the group at a leisurely pace. What does the future hold for Monsoon Squad? Zhaohui looks up, and the person on the Elmo who is waiting for them. Perhaps he will give her the answer. And so this is the end of this event. Well, who would have thought that the loosening of the agreement will be revealed here? I didn't. I actually thought that this will be the past experience of Zhaohui. But it is a little bit even more. And I think 404 squad is somewhere else right now, because there's a couple of times left. Well, I guess that is end of these interruptions of the mini events, and now we are progressing with the next event with the Springfield and I guess Tsushiro Cafe, something going on. We will be seeing what's happening. Also, as a reminder, there's I will be doing a better reminder on the next event, but yeah, we still have this chip that got attacked by EMP wave from Blue Sphere. So probably we will have to recover that chip's information. Or maybe we are entering something completely new. That will be the end of this episode. I will be thank you for watching, listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you in some other Girls Frontline 2 story. Take care.